Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to the radio show. My name is Alecia and I'm so happy that you are here. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a great day. The sun's shining. It's before 10:30, and any time before 10:30 a.m. is my favorite time of day. I love morning. I'm a morning person. I get up with the sun. I charge with the sun, and about by 2 o'clock, my energy has waned. But in the morning time, I am here. I am present. I am excited. And I am listening to one of my favorite vocalists of all time, the Minnie Riperton. Minnie Julia Riperton Rudolph was born November 8th, 1947 in Chicago, Illinois, where she met her husband, where she got her chops, where she sung and established herself as an amazing vocalist, musician, and lover. And unfortunately, she passed away on July 12th, 1979 at the age of 31 from cancer. It's interesting. It's so interesting to read about her life because as a child, I always felt like she was so much older than I was, right? And I'm 34. She passed away at 31. She was so young. She passed away from cancer, and we'll get more into that later. And she's also the mother of Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph is a comedian. I found out about Maya Rudolph from Bridesmaids, the movie, the comedy. It is hilarious, and she is the bride. And I had no idea that Minnie Riperton was her mom until she posted in a picture where she was mimicking her mother or copying her mother. The cover of one of her mother's albums, holding an ice cream cone. I was like, oh my gosh, she looks just like her mom. So shout out to Maya Rudolph. Shout out to Minnie Riperton. We're going to get right into it. So the first song I want to play for you is Lovin You, okay? It is a classic. It is a classic. And this song has been played everywhere. We know it backwards and forwards. But what you might not know is that this song was actually created for Maya. It was actually created as a lullaby for Maya to distract her when Minnie wanted to spend time with her husband, right? So in the real song, you'll hear at the end Minnie singing Maya, 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 Maya. I can't sing it like her, but you'll hear her singing Maya's name. But we know it as a love song, but it is a love song. It's a love song for her daughter. And later on in her life, when she was about to pass away, her last performance, Minnie Riperton added Ringo. Ringo is the name of her son. And while she's singing Maya, 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 she adds in Ringo to honor her children's lives at the end of her own life. So let's get into Lovin You by Minnie Riperton.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Making love with you is all I wanna do. Loving you is more than just a dream come true. And everything that I do is out of loving you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, doo 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 doo. No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring. Stay with me while we grow old, and we will live each day in springtime. 'Cause loving you has made my life so beautiful, and every day of my life is filled with loving you. Loving you, I see your soul come shining through. And every time that I'm more in love with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, doo 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 doo. No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring. Stay with me while we grow old, and we will live each day in springtime. 'Cause loving you is easy
Yay. So yes, that was one of Minnie Riperton's most famous work. Most famous work is Lovin You. A lot of things I love about the song. Number one, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. The incorporation of nature, the birds singing, right? And the song really feels like spring. It really feels like a spring song, even though in her lyric she says, "Stay with me while we grow old, and we will live each day in springtime," right? Because spring is about renewal, it's about love, it's about like romance, and like life is lifing again. You know, like when you come out of winter, there's like this feeling of renewal that spring brings. Like you don't realize how dead or tired or lethargic you are until you see a flower. You know, like, and I think that new love and young love can feel that way. It's like something is blooming, right? Like something deep within us is blooming. The song is simple, it's pure, it's angelic. And you can it kind of does give a lullaby effect, right? Like the incorporations of like maybe the xylophones. I don't know if that's the exact instrument, but that's what it sounds like to me. The trees, right? And at the time that she recorded this song, Maya Rudolph was a toddler, and so like I said, this was a lullaby for her, and so it seems very calming and like, you know, almost like lulling you to sleep. I think that's the feel that she was going for. But that's kind of how love feels. Like when you fall in love with somebody, I love falling in love. When you fall in love with someone, you start to feel warmth. You start to like awaken, like something awakens in you. Even if it's like with a friend, it doesn't even have to be romantic. Like when you meet somebody new and they're just like, "Oh my God, you're so interesting." Like you want to know more, and it's exciting and it's life bringing, right? It brings a bouquet of flowers to your life where there may have been like, you know, hard soil or hard ground. So that's what that song feels like a flower budding into spring. And yeah, and I think that from her perspective in the song, it really is just like loving you is easy because you're beautiful. And I'm sure she's talking about the physical form, but I'm sure she's also talking about the spirit of someone, the soul of someone. When you see someone's soul and how beautiful it is, like it's just like there's nothing more magical. This actually brings me to the next song that we're going to talk about, which is Le Fleur. And again, this is French, Le Fleur, meaning flower. And so Le Fleur is actually a song that I love for Minnie Riperton. It sings a song that my hippie heart sings. And this song was actually written and produced in 1969. I will say produced. I don't know when it was written, but it was produced in 1969. And this was at the height of like the flower child movement, like the hippie movement, where everybody was like peace and war, love, not war. Excuse me, peace, not war, love, not war, right? Like make love, not war. And so the lyrics of the song are beautiful. I'm going to let you listen to them. But what I love is just, I don't know, the composition, the way that they put this together. This was actually from her first album. And it's called Come to My Garden. So I think that's perfect. But yeah, I just want to play the song for you because I really, really, really love it. And I'll come back and tell you what I think about it and what it's about and all the things. So enjoy.
Will somebody wear me to the fair? Will a lady pin me in her hair? Will a child find me by a stream? Kiss my petals, weave me through a dream. For all of these simple things and much more, flower was born. It blooms to spread love and joy, faith and hope to people forlorn. Inside every man lives the seed of a flower. If he looks within, he finds beauty and power.
Ring
Okay, isn't that song lovely? I love it. It's so playful, it's so light, but it's so endearing and it's so hopeful. And so Minnie Riperton was 22 when this song came out, and you can just feel her like sense of longing, her sense of hope that a lot of us lose as we age. A lot of us start to lose hope as we age, and with her young heart, her like, free love and hippie self, like she's like, no, like we can make change. And I just want to read to you some of the lyrics to the song. So the first verse says, will somebody wear me to the fair? To the morning sing a lovely flower? Will a lady pin me in her hair? Will a child find me by a stream, gaily laughing in the sunbeam shower? Kiss my petals, weave me through a dream, right? And when I first heard this song, that I was actually paying attention, because I heard the song a lot when I was younger, but I never really paid attention to the song. But when I listened to the lyrics, it felt lovely that somebody would write a song about the experience of a flower, right? That was my first perspective, was like, oh wow, somebody wrote such a beautiful song about a flower. And it is, right? Will someone wear me in their hair? Will someone take me to the fair, right? Like, will someone weave me through a dream, right? But then the chorus goes, for all these simple things and much more, a flower is born. It blooms to spread love and joy, faith and hope to people forlorn. Inside every man lives the seed of the flower. If he looks within, he finds beauty and power. And so the hope, right, that she's singing about in the song, the hope that, and the knowledge and the wisdom that inside of everybody there is a seed, right? And if we water that seed and take care of that seed, there is beauty and power within. Because at the time in 1969, there's a lot of stuff happening, racially charged things. There's a war going on. It's a lot, right? And these kids, in the minds of, the elders, like, these kids are being unrealistic. And I resonate with that, because even for me now, like, I still have hope. We are in a very, very dark time, okay? Lots of awful things are happening, and yet and still I have hope. And a part of my rage and a part of my frustration is my hope. Like, it is an expression of my hope, because I know that we can do better. We can do better. And for Minnie and whoever else wrote the song, like, to see in other people, like, no, inside of all of us, there is a flower. There's hope. There's hope for those who are weary and forlorn, right? For people who are sitting long-faced and like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Like, no, look within yourself and find your own power. And that's what I love about this song. The bridge says, ring all the bells, sing and tell the people everywhere that the flower has come. Light up the sky with your prayers and gladness and rejoice, for the darkness is gone. Throw off your fears, let your heart beat freely at the sign that a new time is born. And that time is the flower child, right? The time of the flower child in 1969. So yeah, like, she was in her hippie bag, and I love that for her, because same. And I love that she wrote a song about flowers, but also about how we are flowers. And this goes along with my philosophy, like this idea that we all carry seeds with us, things that we're supposed to plant into the ground, right? Things that we're supposed to give to other people, different ways that we're supposed to bloom in our own time, right? But we've gotten a lot of our seeds from the flowers of other people. And so a lot of us discount our seeds and say, like, oh, what am I brought here to do? Like, nothing I do is going to matter. It doesn't matter. It does. All of it matters, right? But inside of all of us lies something that is dormant that we just need to water or give sunlight, right? Or put them around friendly flowers, other people, right? To cultivate those things within us, to cultivate that garden within us so that other people can sup from our garden. You know what I'm saying? So I love this song. This was from her debut album, like I said, And it came out in 1969, or she recorded it in 1969. It came out in 1970. So in the lyrics, like she says, it represents that love, joy, faith, hope, beauty, and power are now here as well. And it lies within all of us. And that power is not found in overtaking or subduing other people. It's found within yourself. It's found within taking care of yourself. It's found in believing yourself and watering yourself and nourishing yourself and listening to that flower and allowing that flower to bloom and to bloom and to show you what flower it is and what this flower wants to say. So I love this song. Every person has the ability to flourish if they are watered and if they look within. So like I said, this song does a lot for my inner flower child, outer flower child. I am a flower child. And I'm just grateful for this song. All right, so now we're going to go into the next song, Memory Lane. I'm actually just going to play this for you first, and I'm going to come back with my thoughts. You probably know the song, Memory Lane, but I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I want to share it with you. So here's Memory Lane by Minnie Riperton.
Stumbled on this photograph and kind of made me laugh. It took me way back down memory lane. I see the happiness, I see the pain. Where am I? Back down memory lane. I see us standing there, such a happy, happy pair. Love beyond compare. Look at there, look at there. The way you held me, no one could tell me that love would die. Oh, why did I have to find this photograph? I thought I had forgot the past. Now I'm slipping fast. Oh, back down memory lane. I feel the happiness, I feel the pain. Here am I, back down memory lane. I'm in the sunshine, I'm in the rain. Thought it was over, here I go again. The way tell me that love would than the speed of sound. Back down memory lane. Be still, my foolish heart. Don't let this feeling start. Back down memory lane. I don't wanna go. Back down memory lane. Save me. Save me.
All right. Yes, Memory Lane is a nostalgic song for me. I wasn't alive when it came out, but this song reminds me of my family in Philly. So I grew up in Maryland, and my family is from Philly in the Philadelphia area, and in a town called Willow Grove. And driving to Willow Grove would take about maybe like 2.5 hours to get there from where I lived in Maryland, give or take a few minutes. But when we were driving up, we would listen to music like this, right? So Memory Lane, even though it's talking about memories, it's nostalgic because of the time that it's connected to for me. Like listening to Minnie Riperton, driving up 95, driving, to visit my family in that packed house with all those beautiful faces and all my loved ones and, my family and friends. It just sounds nostalgic. Like the horns, it's giving very much like Philadelphia soul a little bit. It's very lush. I love it. It's very lush. Yeah, and so the first time that I had possession of the song, I actually recorded this song off the radio back in the day. For those of you all who don't remember, there used to be like tapes, and we would have blank tapes and put them in the radio and press record. And this song was one of the songs that I would record and that I would listen to over and over and over again. And it was only a part of the song because I couldn't catch it from the beginning and hold it all the way out to the end before a radio personality or disc jockey like spoke over it. But I love that song. That song is so nostalgic for me. So not only is it tied to my family, but it's also tied to my youth and my big speaker. I used to have this radio, and it was a system with speakers on either side, and it was the love of my life. Like I didn't leave my room. I listened to music all day. I played CDs, tapes. I listened to the radio. I recorded my own stuff, right? Like having that radio meant so much to me. It was like the introduction for me to being able to be autonomous in my music choices. Because let's be so for real, like growing up, you listen to what your parents listen to. Ain't nobody really asking you to put on what you want to listen to, okay? Like there was no Kids Bop, there was no no childhood playlist or radio station. It was like, no, you listen to what your parents listen to. And to be fair, I love the music my parents listen to. To this day I still listen to the music that my parents listen to, and I'm grateful for their influence because they introduced me to greats like Minnie Riperton. And so even though I had my choice in what I would listen to, sometimes I'd listen to Britney Spears or NSYNC or like people like that, Brandy, but most times I would listen to the soundtracks, the albums, the radio stations that my parents listened to. So Memory Lane is such a beautiful song because it just links me to the people that I miss. And the lyrics of the song, right? Like when you find a photograph or you find something, you might be cleaning your room and you stumble upon like a relic of an old lover or like a friend or something, and you're like, oh my God, like you're filled with bittersweetness, right? Especially if the person is no longer friends or connected with you, or if the person has passed away. That's happened to me a lot too. Like, wow, like where do all of these like nostalgic feelings, where can they rush to when I can't snap a picture and send it to you and be like, oh my God, do you remember this? Or when I can't contact you anymore or reach out to talk to you because you're no longer living, the song is it's a good song, right? But very bittersweet because even at the time that she recorded the song, she was sick. She had breast cancer, and they found out that it had spread to her lymph nodes, and she was also given 6 months to live, right? So while recording the song, she was sick. And then in the music video for the song, she's sitting in a chair, flipping through photo albums. I'm guessing those are real albums because they're real photos of her and her husband. I'm flipping through the photo albums, looking at the memories together. And at this point, her right arm was paralyzed. So in the music video, you can't see her moving because she couldn't. She was ill. And there's a heartbreaking moment in that music video. Ooh, that just gives me chills. For us as entertainment, like, yes, sing to us. Like, it looks like she's acting out the song, like when she's saying, save me, save me, save me, right? Or saying like, I don't want to go, save me. And we think like, oh my gosh, she's such a phenomenal actress. But no, like, she was really dying when she was holding that album and crying and saying, I don't want to go, save me. And at that point, she was ill to the point that she could not be saved. I believe that I feel like time and chance happens to everybody, but she knew that she was coming to the end of her life. And I think that she was really reckoning with that. And I don't know what it is to be in that state. I hope to not know anytime soon, but to be at a state where you're like, wow, I have all this attention, all this fortune and fame. I have these beautiful memories with the person and the people that I love, and I can't stop this clock from stopping. I can't stop this clock from running out. Like, there's nothing that I can do. So it was almost like cruel to watch because it's such a beautiful song and she's performing it so well for us. But at the time, she's having her own internal battles with her mortality. And that is interesting. And it's so interesting to see how a love song, right? Like songs that we assume are about love or about like loss, losing a lover, while those things are painful, right? Like what's more important here is that no, she's grieving her own life. Like the memory, she's soaking them all up because her life is about to end, you know? It's such an emotional, like a deeply moving and emotional performance and experience. And it's really like, it's not a performance, it's her life, it's art. And unfortunately, in July of that same year that the song came out, she passed away from cancer. So we speak your name, Minnie Riperton. We thank you for your art, for your love, and even being so vulnerable, right? Like even her being seen at a point of weakness is strength, like is brave. Like her being seen in that chair, not being able to move her arm, like that takes such bravery. It takes such bravery. And I'm grateful that she created the song where I think of her, and I also am able to create my own memories. Isn't that amazing how art is like that? Art is intended for one thing, but for someone else it means something completely different. And I'm still grateful, so grateful for Minnie Riperton. I do want to go back to Fleurs because I ain't say everything I want to say, and so I want to say everything that I want to say as I'm thinking about it. But I love Fleurs because as frivolous and as silly as it seems to sing about a flower, right? It's a song about hope. And while her elders at the time in 1969, I imagine like these are like war vets, these are people who are like pro-war and people who are like, yes, like I'm like American exception, like just, you know, just like fully buying into the programming, right? And at the time, like the flower children, the hippies were like, anti-establishment, nope, like we're communists, we don't believe in none of that, free everybody. And it's so interesting because you see history repeat itself, right? Those same people who were flower children at the time are now the people, a lot of them are now the people in power, like supporting the harm of other people. And it's just very interesting to me, like what happened? What happened? I mean, I have thoughts because a lot of people involved in the hippie movement or the flower child movement were white folks. And that's a whole other conversation. Nothing against white folks, but like, we got to talk about it, right? Because even today, like using air quotes, liberals are still like pro-death. You feel me? Like they're still pro-capitalism. Like it's not like the liberals and the conservatives are opposite each other. They're actually just like two sides of the same coin, just expressed different ways, right? The intention is the same, conquering, overpowering, these kinds of things, but the way that it's expressed, one is more underhanded than the other. That's just my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. I'm thinking about that meme. It's my opinion. But yes, it's just really interesting. But when I'm thinking about the flower and how like frivolous it seems to those, I think about those images of the children, of the students putting flowers in the guns of people who were pointing guns at them, right? And how their response to violence was love and was respect, and using nature, using flowers as a way to protest, right? So even though their elders may be like, this is silly, oh, you're just opting out of society or whatever, it's like, no, even though flowers seem like just because, flowers are actually really important. Flowers are actually very, very important. And even though they were expressing their disdain for our country and our country's complicit, being complicit in violence and killing people and robbing and all this other stuff, right? Like, I'm going to meet this with beauty. And I'm going to use beauty as a protest. I'm going to use something as, benign, something as harmless as flowers to protest, right? But also like coming back to nature is the way, right? Coming back to the earth, coming back to appreciating even the flowers. Like, let's all get ourselves together. Let's humble ourselves a little bit. Let's put our feet in the grass. You feel me? So yes, even though the flower seems extra, there's a word I'm looking for, frivolous, like frivolous. Anyway, even though the flowers feels that way, right? Flowers are not extra, right? Just because they're beautiful doesn't mean that they're extra. Like, we don't need to overpower. That is not where our power comes from. It's in beauty. It's in kindness. It's in generosity and all those beautiful things, Okay. So that's all I wanted to say about La Fleur. But the next song I want to share with you is called Inside My Love. Now, one thing about Minnie Riperton is that she was a very sensual singer. Very, very sensual, very sexual, lots of double entendres, okay? Lots of wordplay, but we know what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so one of my favorite sensual songs from her is called Inside My Love. And it's sensual Minnie. You know what I'm saying? It's sensual Minnie, but again, like I said, she has a lot of those sensual songs. Even like Lovin You has that part where it's like every time that and it's like, ooh, right? Like we know what she's talking about. So I really like the song. It's grown and sexy. It's poetic. It's beautiful. Like beyond it just being sexy, it's just so thoughtful. And I love a double entendre. You feel me? So I'm going to play the song for you and I hope that you enjoy. Yay.
Just meeting, barely touching each other. Two spirits greeting, trying to carry it further. You are one, and I am another. We should be one inside each other. You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride inside my love? You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride? Two strangers, not strangers, only lacking the knowing. So willing, feeling, infinite growing. While we're here, the whole world is turning. We should be one, fulfilling our yearning. You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride inside my love? You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride? You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride inside my love? You can see inside me. Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride inside my love? Inside me. Will you come inside me?
Yay. Okay, like I said, lots of double entendres, very sultry, very sensual. But what I love about this song is the band. The band for me takes the center stage. That bassist, and in the next song, there's also a bassist that I love too. But Minnie's band, 10 out of 10. Like, no notes. Like, her band was absolutely amazing. Amazing. I also love the part where she holds out inside, right? And then even the end, she does like the whistle note and holds it out. Oh, talent, talent, talent. Minnie Riperton. So talented. I know that we know that she has a high voice and is very pretty, but like even her musicality, her choices are very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Yes. So yes, that band, listen, I think there was a moment where I'm like, yes. Adventures in Paradise, that album. So there's an album where she's sitting in a chair and she has like baby's breath on as a crown, and she's sitting in a chair next to a lion, right? I saw a video of this woman. This woman got attacked by that lion. The lion didn't hurt her, but she literally sat next to a real lion. Okay, like ain't no Photoshop. Okay, she sat next to a lion in a chair, and that lion jumped on her. But she said that she think it just wanted to play with her. And I'm like, that is so many. It's so beautiful. So yes, so the album is iconic. The album cover is iconic, and I think around this time, this is when like the musicians started taking up as much space as Minnie. Minnie is like, she is the main event. You feel me? Like, don't get it twisted. She is the main character. However, like the band did such a great job with complimenting her, bringing out the positives, right? Bringing out her strengths, I should say, not positives, because it's not like I have negatives. But the band really highlighted her strengths, where Minnie's voice is more like high and like and thin and airy and like spiritual. Like her band holds the bottom down for her. And in this next song that I'm going to play, you're going to recognize the intro. And this song has been sampled 1,000 times over by Black Star, by A Tribe Called Quest, and by Soul For Real. My love, do you ever dream of... I'm dancing, but... Yes, so that song has been sampled for that song, and everybody samples the beginning, right? But that is just the beginning. That is just the intro. There's so much more to be found in the heart of the song, and that's where I love the song. It's not about the intro. It's not about how it's been sampled. It's about her voice and her voice playing with each other, how the bass is playing at the end. Y'all listen, y'all hear. So yes, from that iconic album with the lion and the baby's breath on her hair, Adventures in Paradise, this is Baby, This Love I Have by Minnie Riperton.
Things I say and do may not come clear through. My words may not convey just what I'm feeling, but I hope you recognize what's right before your eyes. Oh, your heart should realize from where I'm dealing. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I love you. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I care. Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I need you. Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I care. You may not understand just why I show my hand, the method to my madness you inspire. Perception is the key. It's evident, you see. What this is all about is love entire. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I love you. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I care. Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I need
Isn't that song beautiful? This is my favorite song by Minnie Riperton of all time. Baby, This Love I Have. Okay? The bass. Let's talk about the instruments. It was like a symphony. Like that's what it felt like to me. It just felt like everything worked so well. The bassist was doing his thing. Okay, I love a good bass line. The bassist was doing his thing. He was playing around. The strings were playing, the piano, the horns, adding that warmth. I feel like horns always add like a Philadelphia soul kind of feel to me. So that's very nostalgic for me. The drums were placed perfectly, but also the harmony. Every time she gets to the end, all I know is true is this love I have for you. Right, when we get there, I harmonize with her every time. Every time. It's just so playful and fun. It's just so much fun. Y'all excuse the voice. I haven't warmed up or anything like that. Like when people sing at church and they put the scarf around their neck and they're like, I've been on tour, and then they, whatever. Anyway, so it's a joke. But yeah, no, I love how playful this song is. And like, yes, it's gorgeous. The words are gorgeous, but the playfulness of it all, like especially towards the end where they vamp, oh my gosh, like the vamp itself, it's so beautiful, and everybody's supporting everybody and giving everybody room to shine. I love a cohesive band. I love when people play to their strengths and allow their bandmates to shine. And I feel like that's what this song does. It gives people the ability to shine. Okay, so what I noticed in the song, the bass, the strings, the voice, of course, the piano, the drums, the horn, the harmony, and it feels like Philly to me, even though she was, born and raised in Chicago and ended up in LA. I still hear at some point within the music industry, Philadelphia soul had a great impact on music, especially Black music. And even though Minnie Riperton didn't like being labeled as like an R&B artist, a lot of her art kind of swings in the field of R&B. And so it's okay that it has these influences because she did it very well. Okay. So a lot of people love the intro. I love the end of the song. Every time we, baby. So like the end where the bass goes, adana, 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 adana. Right, that bass line is beautiful, y'all. I'm geeking, but the song is beautiful because it's collaborative. That's my point. It's collaborative, it's cohesive, it's supportive of all individuals involved. Even though Minnie is the star, you can tell that she allowed her band to do their daggone thing. And one thing bands love doing is doing their daggone thing. So yeah. What have I learned from Minnie Riperton as we start to bring this show to a close? Minnie Riperton is just such a phenom. Her talent, of course, is great, but just like her poise, her bravery, like what I've learned from Minnie Riperton is to be playful, to play with your voice, to play with music, to be hopeful, to hope for a greater future, to believe in the people that you're on earth with. There are so many awful things happening here today, right? And it can feel hopeless and it can feel like this is the end of the world. Minnie's Fleurs offers hope, right? That song is a great song to listen to when I want to feel empowered, or when I want to feel like not alone for being a flower child, not silly for being hopeful. Like, one thing that I wrote down in my journal is that I hope that you never learn to despise your hope. And I feel like Minnie never despised her hope. Even in the face of illness and death, she still did not despise her hope. And she still used her art to express herself even to the end of her life. On July 12th, she passed away in her lover's arms, and the world was never the same. But we have her music, we have her art, we have the messages, we have Maya Rudolph, we have her legacy. But like I said, for me, what I've gotten is a reminder to be playful, to be brave, to live fully, to be sensual, to be sexy, to take up space, to be beautiful, to love yourself, to love your body, to take courage, and to hold on to courage and to hope for dear life. Thank you, Minnie Riperton. We speak your name. We are forever blessed because you are here and because of all the beautiful art that you've offered to us and all the hope that you've offered the world. And so to end this episode, I want to leave with a bonus song called Perfect Angel, because she is an angel, just angelic, just a light in this world. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and check out Minnie Riperton if you get a chance. Okay. And until next episode, y'all, thank you for listening to the radio show. I have been Aleciarenece, and I'm so happy that you are here. Keep loving yourself, love each other, and keep spreading love and hope because it matters and we need it. All right? Later.
What we're making is history, fooling impossibility, making love not a fantasy. Love is true, love is you. Oh. Making storybook dreams come true, feeling just enough love for two. There's such magic in being with you, 'cause it's true, loving you. Oh. And I think you are the perfect angel. I think you are the perfect one. Oh. I think you are the perfect angel. I think you are the perfect one. Oh. Long ago we played hide go seek, kissing under the apple tree. Who could tell me that this would bring me to you?